Also new at 5, just in time for Shark Week, hundreds of pool sharks are bringing their cue sticks to the Gem City. More than 150 kids are competing at the 36th annual Billiard Education Foundation's Junior National Championships at the Oakley Lindsay Center this week. This is the second year the event has been in Quincy. This year they've added the North American Wheelchair Championships and 2 pro events with more than $100,000 on the line.
Every facet of the world plays cue sports in some form or fashion. We are actually one of the largest sports in the world. Here in America, we think about it a little differently, but there is more action and more money being put into cue sports now than ever before.
And the event is hosted by the Greater Midwest Pool Players Association and will be at the OLC until Saturday.